ASL Premier League Season 2, Group Stage, Round of 16.
I guess that's what we get. So, spawning in the top left, in orange, from what was it? I can't remember now. It's our Terran player,
Clare.
So he does have the marking?
I think so. He didn't confirm either way.
Well, it's Claire, just in case.
Yeah, Sabre said it for us. It's cool. They both covered this.
All right, and on the right side of the map, thinking he's God, trying to play God, and hopefully goes down by some heathens or something named Claire. It is the blue Terran
Sabre.
just in case.
Yeah.
All right, so here we go. Get that production tab up, see what's going on here. And serve the Lord with fear and rejoice with trembling. Oh my god. Who doesn't want to shoot him? You guys tell me at any point in time. Just want to smack that guy. So, nothing too crazy here early on. What I am interested in is to see if Sabre is going to go for that CC first. As after a supply depot, we've had nothing occur.
He is going to be going for that. He's got too much money to not be going for a CC first at this point. And Claire is going for the more conventional style of even going for gas first, it looks like. Getting a very, very, very quick tech path. And we could see a fast factory into fast cloak banshee. That's what my gut tells me that Claire's going for. A very, very aggressive opening. And it could be pretty effective against what Sabre's doing.
Yep. The bad news is Sabre is scouting the correct direction.
Yeah, yes, bad news for Claire.
Yeah. So it depends who you're like. Yeah, that's unfortunate. But yeah, we're gonna have and a third seat. No, that's Iraq's. Interesting location for Iraq's, but Iraq's nonetheless here for Sabre.
Yeah, a little bit strange actually, just to put it over there. But I guess what it's for is to scout for the Reaper should it be on its way. And if we look over at the base, we know that it's not a Reaper. There is no Reaper. Claire's opening Marines, and we could see a very quick kind of. If there's no second gas taken, we could see a fast medevac Hellion push, which would be probably quite effective. Or there's also the Banshees that I still think I would naturally favour. I guess the medevacs are fast, and that gives an edge for Claire on a big map like this, because you can boost across.
That's true, but he knows what's coming. He saw the factory in production, so he's like, oh great, I'm macroing, and she's about to do a one-base push.
Well, this is why the strength of Terran in TVT is tech.
Yep. We got Tech Lab coming down here on that factory.
Indeed. That's also strong. So that's the top plays coming out of Claire.
Okay, I wanted to see if he was going to lift it off. That's what I was...
Yeah, no, definitely.
Are we going to build a siege tank here, maybe? You know?
No, I don't think so. You can always
drop.
transfer back after like a Banshee or two. But if we look at this point, Claire doesn't have... Because she hasn't taken that second gas, we know that it's... Ooh, bit of a miscontrol there. Never mismicro your buildings, guys. We are seeing a Banshee without cloak, just because it can't afford cloak. I think Hellions would be likely to follow this up, but as it stands, there's nothing. And instead, that money is going into a command center. So Claire going for a 1-1-1 expansion, Sabre going for an expansion, presumably into a 1-1-1.
And here it comes out. I've been eyeballing Sabre's base to see if an engineering bay was going to get dropped.
Yeah.
And it just happened, so that Banshee better run its ass off.
Well, Sabre knows that he doesn't have to build the eBay too early. Getting that eBay at this point in time means that the turrets can still be ready to receive the Banshee, especially on a big map like Altazim, which I guess is why he likes it. It allows him to macro more freely. And that's why he didn't have to rush this out at all. He should just be ready and prepared. Sabre's building 2 starports in the back of his base.
Probably going to get spotted by the Banshee.
Yeah.
If a turret doesn't go down.
Yep.
He's got about, what, 6... He's got about 5 seconds to get it down. before it'll be
No,
too late?
at this point it is too late. This Banshee is almost there. He's going to swoop into the natural unless Claire for some reason decides to wait. Yep, going to get in there. There is a Marine ready to receive, but that's only one Marine. What can one Marine do? The bunker is going to be pretty helpful. It's
Ooh.
lovely holding of position against the... Oh, could have got that! So unfortunate for Claire, but even so, five SCV kills is pretty good, and that's only one Banshee as well. Claire has not overcommitted to this in any stretch. There's a second one back at the base, and that's going to go out and start doing its own harassment. But
And now she's switching her build. She's moving buildings back around.
yeah, going for tanks. Interesting. Sabre's gone double Viking production.
Because he's expecting more air.
I don't know why you would go double Viking even if you were expecting more air. The only reason to go double Viking is if you think your opponent is going double Viking or is rushing Banshees or Battlecruisers, as you say, or something, going for a big air push. But Claire isn't doing anything like that, and Sabre could literally scan and find out in a heartbeat. So I don't understand the decision-making process behind going for a double Viking opening. It could just be to catch the Banshees off guard.
You know... yeah, and there's no cloak, so... Who has better speed?
I think it looks pretty equal.
2.75. 2.75. It's all about the angles.
Dead eagle. Sabre's missed his chance now. Those Banshees are going to get out absolutely safe and sound. And actually, cloak beginning with it in the base of Sabre. Sabre's going to port Banshee off 2 bases because he's mad.
I don't think he's mad.
This is weird stuff. But even so, not untenable. It's just a bit unusual. And there's something I learned today was something called the Nathanius build. And the Nathanius build is where you expand and you put down 3 starports and send 6 Banshees across the map to kill a Zerg. And it's
really?
Yeah, it's weird. But apparently because 6 Banshees, 2 shots a queen. So you just go... Oh, your queen's gone. And you just keep doing that until they lose. You get cloak as well because you've made 6 Banshees. Why do you care about cloak?
Nice.
Yeah.
I'll keep that one in mind. So I'll go triple starport, huh?
Yeah. If you, I mean, you're a Zerg player, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just be wary. Just be wary. Bearing in mind that it could happen.
Oh no! Ready for this?
I'm ready. It's the reverse. There's not really a whole bunch of answers.
Oh, good. And he goes right back home.
So cheeky.
And the Banshees are here, and the Banshees are trying to kill the Banshees.
it's a good effort on their part. Going to see a scan come out, but Sabre's micro is pretty good. Going to just keep blasting away at those Marines, and of course, without the combat shield upgrade, going to be 2-shotting.
Or Stim, yeah.
No, Stim... Well, Stim would allow him to catch them, but he really needs that combat shield. Really needs that combat shield. Not quite enough. Yeah, I remember...
There you go.
Yeah, the turret is complete. The significant SCV damage dealt, however. Sabre on 51 SCVs, and his strength is really his macro play. So being allowed to get to this point in the game with such a strong economy means that I actually think that he's looking favourable as we move into this game. My caster dollars are twinging a little. Should he win?
Twinging.
Yeah, twinging. It's a word. Swear.
Gonna run into 2 missile turrets.
So many turrets. Claire not skimping on the turrets, perhaps with good reason. And Sabre.
Banshee's killing off the siege tanks.
Really needs. I think Sabre needs to have Vikings. Those wooden ones outside the front as well. Why are they there? Oh. These are confusing turrets, I have to say. They're good stim forward, picking off 1 Banshee, picking off 2 Banshees, stimming up with the Marines as well, attempting to do as much damage as possible there. Not quite really. I mean, doing good work, sterling work, but it's not quite. At this point, what needs to be done, Claire has got to secure the macro position. And Sabre's gone full Sky Terror because he's mad. It's Sky Mech. It's pure mech. It's mecha, it's heart.
He's only got... Yeah, I mean, well, he's only got the 2 starports. He's got a couple Banshees hanging out over here. A couple Vikings went somewhere. There they are. And, there goes a Banshee down to 15 HP. Oh my goodness, those Widow Mines got to be frustrating the hell out of Claire right now.
Yeah.
I know they'd be driving me nuts. There's this
Yeah.
man.
That's what you build a Raven out of your previously Tech Lab starport for, but now it just has no add-on. I'm not sure what's being supposed to be being produced out of there, but at this point there's nothing. It's just Marine Tank out of Claire. And Marine Tank, I mean Marines are good. Let's not talk about what Marines are like a bad on because the list is short, but at this point, the tanks are a bit superfluous, and I think they're only going to be there to counter this mech force, this ground mech, out of Sabre.
Mm-hmm.
Does he know
And
about that?
if
Does
you
Claire know?
notice- Did you see the Ninja SCVs?
I didn't know.
They just took 2 bases in the bottom left.
Oh, very sneaky. I did not see that at all. Right now, there's the five banshees. Sabre, what are you doing? Stop it.
He's picking on her, and he thinks it's okay.
Yeah, it's just rude. It's just rude. Good scan going down. Stim picking off another Banshee, but they are no slouches, those Banshees. They're pretty quick, and they're just bursting their way out.
And here comes the Hellbat Hit Squad.
Oh god. It's going to try and fight a tank, and it's going to win. Tanks, contrary to expectations, not that tanky. As soon as the bio moves out of the main, the Hellbats move into the natural, and Mass Hellbat's pretty strong.
Oh, well, there goes the Banshees. Got all those.
Yeah, if he keeps splitting and kiting back, Claire can deal with this. Yeah,
Good micro. Excellent micro.
That was a decent engagement.
And now Claire's Banshees are taking care of the Hellbats.
This is one of
9
the...
workers killed, but
That's
hey,
not that
you
bad.
know.
That's really not that bad overall. Claire's macro slipped a little bit during that engagement, during the panic, but while Sabre is looking really strong, he's actually a little bit over-droned. A little bit over-SCV'd, perhaps.
Yeah,
S78's a lot.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, for Terran with the mules as an option,
Yeah.
I don't think you need to be up at 80, which is where 82.
I think the best way to describe it is to say, in your natural, traditionally you don't need 41 SCVs. That's the best way to describe the macro situation in Sabre's base right now.
He just wants to make sure he gets them all covered.
Look, there's going to be no downtime on those minerals, let me tell you. So yeah, a lot of his supply, even though it's higher than his opponent, a lot of it is actually just in the workers, and unless he plans on pulling a bunch of them as tanking and as support, which is a good idea, then it's not really perhaps as cost effective as it might, as effective as it might look, the supply differential. 91 of them.
He's gone mad.
He's been mad for a long time. Mad with power. But as it stands.
92 SCVs, and we'll see if that continues to rise.
I think it's up to 92 now. I think he might have noticed because he's not building anymore. But give him some time. Two
more.
Will Sabre continue? I want to see if I'll bet right now. I'll bet $5 against anyone in the chat who takes it that Sabre hits 100 SCVs this game. Unless, no, I'm not going to put unless. We'll just go for it. Straight up commitment.
He does or doesn't?
Yeah, is he going to hit 100? Can Sabre hit 100 SCVs in this game? Anyone who takes that, good luck to you. Because Claire is pushing out right now. That's the saving grace.
He's up to 98.
He's so close. I don't know if anyone took that, but we'll see after the game. There's this big push from Claire is just shunting out, and actually the army supply is way in favor of Claire, as are the upgrades.
Doom drop, you think?
I wouldn't have gone for Doom drop naturally, but you could be right. It's bio versus mech, and that's a risky engagement, but the anti-air is a little weak. Okay. Stimming forwards an attempt to it's because there's this Hellion runway back in the third base.
Yes, there is. Fortunately, the siege tank is not in siege mode. And 20 workers were killed here.
Yeah. If Sabre gave Claire enough SCVs to saturate all of Claire's bases completely, Sabre would still be overdroned. That is a completely true story. 103 workers on the field for Sabre. The funny thing is, he doesn't even have that much money because so many of them are being wasted. He's got
42 in his natural.
He's got so many. 42 in his natural and 42 for 15. So that is a guaranteed 30-ish workers that are being just they're just dead supply. They are doing nothing.
I know, it's freaking hilarious.
Yeah.
That is a lot. 105? Do anybody want to take a guess on what the final number, the high 106, is going to be for Sabre? You want to guess, Left? I'm going to go with 111.
He's maxed out right now, so let's not... Yeah, he can't make anything more. But he must be thinking, isn't my army a bit small?
Yeah, right? It's like, man, this is all I could build, really?
Yeah. I don't know, maybe he'll notice at some point and sacrifice a few of them, or he'll bring a few in a big push. But as it stands, those guys are still sat in the natural chilling out. And Claire's army is much more balanced with 66. That is technically perfect saturation for 3 bases. The 4th is on its way. There is a barracks on that base, which is a little bit awkward, but that should be cleaned up in the near future. And Claire's army is just so much more rounded because of this.
Do you think... Okay, I'm looking at the chat, so it's making me think of this. Somebody said they're guessing 126, 135 SCVs we'll get to. And I'm just thinking, how funny would it be if he did 106 drone SCV pull attack? And then he could just rely off mules. And he'd still be okay.
How many command centers does he have right now? That's the question.
He has 4.
He's got a load more in production. No. He's got 2 PFs down the bottom. He's got a minimum of 3 in production and 4. There's 4 in his main base alone. So yeah, I totally agree with your assessment. I think that's exactly what Sabre should do.
Yeah. Either that or just cut his army production and go up to max army SCVs.
Just put them in the army. Bring them all. Yeah. Bring the boys.
That'd be an extra 106 units. I don't know, that would be kind of scary, though.
Let's try to come through the rocks at the base of the natural with all of these Hellions, and I can't tell if that's an attempt to trade it off or not. It could just be a ploy to trade away the Hellions and get something a bit bigger and better. And there's certainly a lot of Ravens here, which will do absolutely nothing to Marines or tanks. But the PDDs, not the PDDs, the auto turrets can be helpful, and of course Hunter-Seeker missiles require crazy micro to come down out of a Marine player. Well,
both players are now maxed. And he's transferring about 60 workers to the bottom right hand.
I don't understand why they're going down there.
Because he's trying to take the whole
he's trolling really hard, and I think you could actually backfire. There's a lot of auto turrets in the back of the natural. The missile turrets are just firing into the PDDs, but obviously they can't survive, and I think a better decision for Clare would have been to abandon that. Clare must feel a bit confused at this point because Sabre is doing incredibly non-standard things, and his macro is just so good, but it.
I don't know. She's not reacting like she's going to attack. She's just... No. Where's her army going?
The army just got killed off in a fairly spectacular way, but Claire's gone the other way to Sabre. Claire's on 47 SCVs and 178 army supply.
Oh no, here go the SCVs.
Reading is difficult, guys. All of those SCVs are being picked off, and Claire must be thinking, where are you coming from?
Right. They're gonna keep coming. Just keep picking them off.
There's 2 Banshees just sat dealing. They've just gone, yeah, we'll kill off the Hellbats. It'll be fine. But Claire's decision making is so funky, and Sabre is using that to pull his opponent all over the map, whilst he makes battle cruisers. Because why not? Battle cruisers could possibly win Sabre the game, I've got to say. He's got the 3-3 upgrades. He's up against a Marine tank composition, and whilst the Thor will be nice, a Thor is not a battle cruiser.
No. Claire went down there a little bit. I mean, obviously, Sabre lost 26 workers of his own, but who really cares, right? He had so many.
Yeah, now he's just oversaturated.
Yeah, now he's just oversaturated. She might have actually done him a favor.
Yeah, I actually think she probably has. He's now making army.
And it looks like her entire army is pissed about these bases down here.
I can see why you would be. They're just going to stim forward and blow the hell out of these PFs.
Yeah, they are gone.
Yeah, they're all going to die. And the thing is, the more SCVs that die off, while Sabre's been mining all this money, the more battle cruisers we're going to see on the other side of the map. And that's...
Where is she going?
I'm so confused by the pathing of these units.
It's so weird.
Just commit to something, anything.
Yes. Commit to either attacking or killing his bases.
Yeah, just like either attack the bases that are on his side of the map or attack the bases that are on any of the other side of the map, but don't walk all the way to one end of the map and then walk home again. There's one Hellbat!
I know, and the whole 200 army came back.
Yeah, and now they're on Sabre's side of the map. There are 7 battlecruisers in production. And
Claire raised her army supply to 151.
I honestly think that 10 battlecruisers or 11 battlecruisers and tanks is the most anti-bio force it's possible to have.
Oh boy, here we go.
And yet, at the end of it all, do you think that with the stims forward into the PFs, this is winnable for Clare? There's Thor's firing away at the battlecruisers, doing the best job they can, but all of the Marines have been killed off. Please don't GG Clare. I'll be so sad.
Holy crap! She just lost 100 supply in about 20 seconds.
7 Vikings at a time in production for Clare. Clare does have a great amount of starports, so that could be the saving grace, because Vikings do just kind of outplay battlecruisers in a fairly real sense. The only way that they can... a Yamato cannon does one-shot a Viking, and that's the strength, but they only have so much of those. And that's why you tend to mix in Ravens to the composition. You have to mix in a few Ravens as a Terran player, making Terran who's going battlecruisers, so you can negate the Viking shots. But as it stands, Clare is just pumping out a bunch of Vikings, and this is going to look pretty scary. Trading out SCVs, Sabre's finally doing it.
We have the Sabre SCV rush. Everybody watch out. How many units will it kill?
I reckon it might get this barracks.
Oh my god, he might get the barracks.
I kind of hope that happens.
The barracks is under attack.
It's
Did we have yesterday that like probes or something won a game?
They killed. It was like drones killed Ender's Nexus or something. These auto turrets. Okay. This is where the Ravens are coming in. But he used all of his PDDs way too early, and now the battlecruisers are unsupported. So as soon as the next wave of Vikings comes out, and every time a wave of Vikings comes out, the battlecruisers are going to get chipped away at and chipped away at. See, there's the first round. There's no more PDDs left.
Oh boy.
Here they come. The Yamato cannons are being fired, and he's got so many of them because they've banked up so much energy that this could actually still go the way of Sabre.
Wow.
Even with this engagement.
Battlecruiser is so strong. Holy crap, you would think that should be doing more damage than this.
This just shouldn't have happened. This has made me a bit sad, because Clare could have killed this about 3 or 4 times during this game, and yet here Sabre is rushing across with so many battlecruisers. It's so close. Missile turrets just took out a battlecruiser.
Well, hey, good. That's something killed one. There's a couple crippled ones. He's just not having any... She's not focusing down the weak ones.
No. The control is being so strange, and Sabre's on 188 supply. Admittedly, that is 6 battlecruisers in production. That's like 36 supply, but point stands. And
they are actually going down.
Over time, yeah. Just
slowly but surely. Oh my god, this is like the longest actual fighting engagement.
I know you haven't seen Swarm Host versus Swarm Host yet, have you? The Vikings are trying to chase the PDDs, and PDDs regen so fast. They don't regen at double speed compared to anything else. But Sabre is calling down some mules to fix up those battlecruisers in the heat of his kind of entrenched PDD position. He managed to make those work for him, and Clare is looking bizarrely weak. I don't really understand how to read this game at this point, because by all accounts Clare ought to be winning, and yet Sabre is just being allowed to mass these battlecruisers again and again and again. Raven battlecruiser is almost unstoppable as a composition.
And it's amazing. She's doing 34 damage per shot with...
Oh no, I think it's just Ascended who's dropping. Okay. So yeah, I'll just keep going for the moment. At this point, the engagement is going down outside the... you're back, good. It's all dead. God. It's all dead. It's just all dead. Every single time. Battlecruisers are so strong against Marines. Those are not the answer. And if anything has let Clare down in this game more than anything, is weak scouting. You don't normally need to scout a terror. That's the reason why. You just don't normally need to bother. And because of that, there's now a battlecruiser force, a big battlecruiser force, roasting away at these Marines.
This is just so painful. This is not right. This should not be happening.
It's all wrong. It's all wrong. And yet,
Oh, goodness.
at some point, Claire, I don't know, Claire shouldn't give up hope, but Claire's got so many bases just across the map, but those aren't landed, they're not doing their thing, they aren't being used, and that's it, yeah. GG is called. I just realised what was going on, I tabbed out.
I'm sitting here like...
You should have said something, I would have shut up.
You stopped talking right when it was done loading. So,
We'll get there.
Alright, well, here we go. Game number 2 between these two Terrans. Upper right-hand corner here on Merry-Go-Round. It is going to be the ever-so-cocky, God-complexed, Season 1 champion.
Sabre.
And his opponent in the bottom spawn of Merry-Go-Round, the best spawn. In orange, we have our second Terran.
Clare.
Alright. So, you expecting aggression out of Canary? Or Canary?
You just read the chat, didn't you?
Yeah, I think I was looking at two spots at once.
Yeah.
Out of Clare. I think Sabre, he hasn't done any... Until now. He hadn't done any shenanigans pretty much the entire day. But I kind of feel like this is when he's going to.
If ever, this is the time.
Yeah. Well, okay, maybe he's just scouting with the one and the other one's just making a normal. I was kind of hoping for a Canary play out of one of the Terrans, but we just have to wait for the round of 8 when we cast Canary again.
I guess so, and that is going to be cool. I am very much looking forward to that because it was mental. It was frankly absolutely mental. But yeah, it's all looking good. At this point in time, we're seeing Claire and Sabre basically going for pretty much mirrored openings. They're both getting fast gas and fast barracks. The only difference being that Sabre's gas was a little faster. I think Claire went gas. Yeah, Claire went racks before gas, and Sabre was the opposite. So he's in a position to rush tech. Sabre is in a position to rush tech a lot faster. Actually going for that reactor very quickly.
Double Reaper push?
Yeah, probably.
I would expect to see a second refinery get dropped here pretty soon, then.
You don't need it.
You don't? No. But after the second wave, I feel like you're behind. I don't think you could continue to produce off one.
Well, but I mean, the beauty of the reactor is you can just tap in when you've got the money.
Yeah, that's true. So maybe that'll be the case.
And behind that, I think what we'll see is like a really delayed expansion out of Sabre, but I don't really know. It does depend on whether he actually decides to go Reapers in at the first place. It's all down to that.
She's checking for shenanigans.
Yeah, as is probably wise. In fact, Sabre not going for not doing what we called at all. Sabre's proxy factory.
Proxy factory.
I don't understand why you go like a reactor straight away and then chuck out Marines from it. But I mean, the only thing it says to me is that we'll probably see a proxy starport as well in the same location as the factory, and then we'll see a very, very quick heavy marine with a bit of Hellbat and medevac support that's intended to basically just kill Claire, but it doesn't have to. The reason why it might not be the case, because he's still mining gas.
I know. That's why I'm sitting here going. I'm trying to figure this out too. Oh no! Oh, that was close.
What's coming down? Is that it's a tech lab. Don't be proxy Thor Sabre. You're better than this.
Is that what he's doing?
It actually could be. He's mined enough gas that he makes me think he could be proxy Thor. He would have started the armory by now. He can't be.
Oh yeah, he doesn't have an armory. We're still theorizing on what.
Oh my god, he's starting the armory. No way.
Yeah, guys, we're theorizing here exactly on what kind of crazy cockamamie build we have out of Sabre. We just haven't quite determined exactly what it is yet.
I think it's proxy Thor. I really think it's proxy Thor. I think it's
a little mine right now.
Yeah, he's got a bit of downtime. He's kind of gone, I should have started that armory earlier. Well, never mind.
You think like Widowmine Thor rush?
I think we're going to see Thors with Marines, maybe 1 or 2 Widows, and a ton of SCVs.
Under 10 minutes.
Yeah. before 10 minutes. It's literally gonna be a Thor rush, and that's because Sabre has decided that he's gonna put out his second style of play. That being the one where he doesn't macro really at all. He just goes right out. Yep, it's a Thor.
It's a Thor. Oh goodness! All right, guys. So we're gonna have a proxy factory, Thor, Widow Mine, Marine, possibly SCV. All in.
Where are the SCVs? Yep, SCV's coming. We got a Widow Mine.
Here come all the SCVs. No, not all of them. Just some of them. He didn't fully commit.
Hey,
He's got the just in case plan set up here. Oh! Snipe it! Canary! Did I say canary again?
Yeah, you did. You're reading the chat.
Claire! Sorry, Claire.
It doesn't help that they were the same colour, but at this
point... could he snipe this before?
No, it's not happening. At this point, Claire has just gone, excuse me?
You built a proxy factory with a Thor, Marines, and a handful of SCVs to repair it.
This isn't allowed. This is just not on.
And now more SCVs, bunkers being rushed on the high ground, command center evacuating.
I think if we saw Claire stim forward, and Claire will have stim pretty shortly, then this could work out pretty nicely. This is the okay, the Thor is overextending a little bit, actually taking some significant hits, and now it's pulled back too far! That is a fantastic engagement for Claire right there. There's not that many SCVs to heal it as well, so there's now very little tanking left for Sabre. With actual Marauders out for Claire, what we need to see is just this burst down. I think just going and picking them off with a Marine Fire would be a better idea than trying to focus down the Thor, but it could be too late at this point. SCVs
no,
off the line.
I think SCVs will be enough here.
Yeah, maybe. The plays! Pulling those SCVs through.
The SCVs are just going to town, and there it goes.
Now this is the problem. Now everything's dead, and there's another Thor.
Oh my god.
Widow Mine's actually a pretty cool call out, Claire, because that will just hit for the hit on the Thor and deal 100 however much damage. 125.
It's freaking hilarious.
Yeah.
That Thor is like, I'm just going to continue. I'm going to sit right here and be the coolest Thor.
Oh.
If only.
It's just jamming. It's massive. It's far enough up the ramp that it can see up. It's peeking. Oh, but it's at range 7 and the bunker's at range 7. So it's getting hit as soon as it can hit. This Marauder could chase it away. I think that this push from Sabre, in a really perverse sense, I think this has failed. But I'm not really sure why I think that, other than my instincts tell me that's what has happened.
Well, here comes more Marines. He's only mining off one base. He's just now dropping his natural.
Yeah.
I mean, and it looks like Claire has the confidence that she can clean this up, either she really didn't expect that army to be there. Which I'm guessing is the case.
No, it absolutely is the case. You really ought to scout a little more, perhaps. But Claire just needs to build up an army, and in fact, there's a lot of army in the bunkers. And if we just saw like this rip down the ramp, there's not that much left there. If we just blast down the Thor as fast as possible, I think that could be a successful kill strike out of Claire. But it's not what we are seeing our Orange Terran doing. Instead, opting to let Sabre macro up a bit. And in the last game, we saw how dangerous that can be.
Why? I wonder if she just doesn't want to risk any units, is why she keeps doing that.
Yeah.
Oh, the Thor. Oh, almost overextended.
No, it's really all in, is the thing.
Oh, she's going for a drop.
Nice.
Oh, it's going to get spotted by every unit in that path. That's not the best path to be taking.
No.
That's very
the attack's coming in, actually. The Thor, there's 2 Thors now, and this is kind of the critical mass that Sabre's been waiting for, because there isn't a whole bunch that can be done about this. It needs to be repairing those bunkers as fast as possible, but the repair on the Thor itself isn't strong enough, and Sabre's struggling to push up the ramp. He doesn't even have an extra Thor in production, so he's going to struggle with this. He's really going to struggle.
Oh, yeah, he is, and that drop's going down at the natural right now, denying it, and Sabre has nothing back at home.
No. It's a strong drop, and the bunkers are just out healing the Thors. The first one's going to go down. The siege tanks could... Yes, here they come. Here comes the bio, blasting down the tank, shooting down the first Thor. All of Sabre's units have been picked off at the front.
And, yep, the natural's basically screwed, trying to bust out a Widow Mine. I think Claire knows that. That's why she's focusing it down.
Yeah, it could happen, though. I think instead just going to go for the SCVs is probably a better choice. Sabre now the one taking the huge damage, and this follow-up Bioforce is being stimmed across the map as Claire re-establishes the natural. But the damage is so spectacular at this point.
Goodness,
look
20.
What a great hold.
26.
Just such an excellent hold out of
was not able to. Oh, actually, it fired at the medevac.
yeah, it was the nearest
What a
unit.
play. Oh, Sabre is screwed. He's down to 5 SCVs. Oh goodness. That second Widow Mine did get out, but there goes the factory.
That was a really nice attack. Just Widow Mine attack there, but it's not going to be enough.
Oh,
Sabre down to 6 SCVs, 5 SCVs, and 10 army supply out on the map, which is largely in this Thor that is waddling its way across. But Claire's on 28 workers. Claire looks really strong. Sabre's on the same economy he started the game with, except for 2 command centers, which is pretty good. I love that Sabre's trying to bait Claire into this next window here.
Split up for Marines.
Ooh,
just
go down. And actually, that's quite relevant because that was a nice
Pick off the other Widow Mine.
really nice pick off. The damage done by Claire is huge. Let's face it. Even though this force that's in the main is, it's not stuck there because the medevacs will let it get out. But
Factory's gone down too.
yeah, it's a little bit negated. The really important thing to note is that Claire is in a really, really strong position. Picks off the factory, has to fight a Thor instead, and Sabre.
Go ahead.
Right, I'll introduce the players and then I'll explain why Xelox is wrong. In the bottom left-hand corner, fighting for that first place slot in the final group of Premier League, we have our orange Terran player,
Claire.
And in the upper right-hand corner, being also known as God, if you look in the dictionary, you will find his name. It says God, a.k.a. Sabre. If the dictionary was made that way, that's how he would have it written, I'm sure. From Celestial 7 Gaming, I know I just said his name, but that's okay, because you guys can see it right now in big
Sabre.
lights. It's...
Okay, so
He's cheesing.
but of course he is. Okay, so whilst we see that Sabre's cheesing, and we all know what this is going to be, the reason why you're wrong is because you're misreading the page, Xelox. Because what it says is, what it means there, if you look at the other units, it says Hellbats start on 0 armor, and then after max upgrades, it says 0. What it means is, no wait, does that even make sense? I'm not sure. I think it means that's how much it gains. The battlecruisers start on 3 armor and go up to 6. Marines start on 0 and go up to 3, as with basically everything in the game. In fact, everything gains 1 armor. Let's just look at it, because it says Marines... No, wait, but then it says Marines 3. So if it says Hellbats 0, 0, but Hellbats do gain armor, so that doesn't make any sense. This is perplexing now. Do Hellbats not get armor?
Meanwhile, that Max is just about finished. And we'll let continue to figure that out.
No, it's just all wrong. Don't trust that. Trust Liquipedia, and Liquipedia's right, and I know it's right, and I've checked in game and it's right. So I know it's all fine. I'm seeing where he's getting his misinformation from, and it makes sense now.
Marauder Rush. Marauder Rush.
Why?
Collab.
Why?
It's a Marauder Rush.
That's really, really confusing as a build order. But, I mean, I guess I see the logic behind it. If you go Reapers, you don't outrange the Marauders. And I don't really know how one would deal with it. If you went Fast Factory, I guess, you could get a Widow Mine out fast enough to just deal with a Marauder. But, yeah,
this is going to be spotted!
Here's the Scout.
Yeah, that Marauder is like shit. I got spotted.
And Claire's just like, oh, why?
Oh no, and she doesn't see that he got the bunker going.
No. Something that's worth noting is that a Marauder, I believe, has 7 range in a bunker, because a bunker adds +1 range. And a Marine has 6 range in a bunker, obviously, because they normally have 5. But what this means is that with the outranging, this bunker is technically more effective for Sabre. He needed to get that surround. Surround would have been quite important, and it just isn't going to.
Yeah, it would have.
Who knows? This is the cheesiest series I think we've seen in the ASL, and that includes the one yesterday where Canary opened like 3 proxy 2 racks. But
Claire's got to get that surround. Oh!
it's not enough. Marauders have so much health. They start with +1 armor, so the SCVs are doing much less damage to them progressively. And Sabre's just chipping away. He's gradually advancing into the base.
I would use those Marines to sneak behind to get the bunker right now.
I would be building a Banshee out of this starport that Claire's made. You've got to get the Banshee because Claire's teched up during this whole thing, and is now losing all of the workers.
Yeah. He's having a rough time with that, that's for sure. I don't understand why Claire's not going after that bunker. Oh, okay, everything's going after those 3 Marauders now.
Yeah, a lot of Marines there. These, I think, could be able to focus it down, but at what cost? Claire is on 8 workers at this point, down to 7 workers, and even with mules, which Sabre has been... No, you know what? Okay, Sabre...
She's going to go drop.
Sabre doesn't have an orbital. I take it all back.
Sabre has nothing to stop this drop.
He does. And Claire's just producing Widow Mines. Claire's kind of taken the approach that at some point, those Marines are going to have to leave the bunker. And when they do, they are going to die.
At some point, you guys are going to try and leave. And it's just not going to fly.
And this drop's going to turn up at Claire's base. At Sabre's base. And as you said, there is literally nothing at home to deal with it. There's just SCVs.
This could be awesome.
Here it comes.
Just don't go into the mineral line because you're going to have to fight.
Just don't get surrounded. That's all it needs. Just keep picking up and dropping off. Move around. Drop again. Oh, yeah.
This is going to be awesome.
Best game in the world. Sabre's actually doing a really good job of dealing with this, but he can't mine. He literally can't mine anything whilst this is going on. Claire needs to redrop. Claire needs to start dropping those things again, because if we actually see a finishing of Marines from this, Sabre is back in it potentially. I didn't realise that. Oh no, maybe I just missaw that. Basically, once the Marines are all dropped out, the kiting back is going to mean that Sabre's going to lose so many SCVs, and Marines are better than Marauders against SCVs. So
you're just like against.
I'm at a bit of a loss for words at times, just because I was watching that and I was thinking, is he actually lost those Marines? That shouldn't be happening. He should be picking them up one at a time and just going bloop, 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 bloop into the medevac, just recycling constantly. But as it turns out,
take out that barracks.
Sabre's theoretically going to hold this, and that is confusing. This whole thing has confused me immensely. What is even happened now? Ah, cheeky! Sabre dropping a scan, picking off one, even...
Don't mind.
Yeah, in fact 2 of them. And the drop that's come from the main is now in the natural, trying to pick off combat shields.
Yeah, it's gonna get it.
This is one of the most bizarre games I've ever seen in my life, and it's going to burn down.
Don't go that way, Claire. No. No, Claire, where is your micro? Oh, they're both saved.
Combat shields burns down. No combat shields for you, Sabre, says Claire, dropping the main once again. And actually, there's quite a lot of Marines here to receive this. Widow Mines, though. Oh god, it's coming. One down. That was actually a really terrible target on that Widow Mine, as it turned out. Only 3 SCVs dying off. A lot of Marines on low health, but not low enough to actually score the essential kills that were needed. So Claire might have done herself a disservice there, even if these 2 Marines are doing a pretty reasonable job of damaging this command center. That is in a funny stage of its production.
Yeah, it is.
It looks like flat pack furniture. Well,
there we go. The bunker does burn down. The barracks is forced to leave. It's going to burn down as well, ultimately.
Sabre's managed to trade really cost effectively all the way through this game. That's what's keeping him in it.
She's finally out of it. She's finally out of the contain. I know, right?
I do not understand how that went. I mean, firstly, I understand how it went well for Sabre at the start, but I don't understand how he didn't then just lose. So fair play to him for holding on quite as strong as he did, because this is a big Marine force that's now shoving its way back across the map.
Yeah, you got a Marine for it. 1 shot and 1 kill. Now, are you going to pick up and drop or bail out? And she is going to go prepare. Okay. Without even having to drop a scan, she got to see that from the watchtower. Now, She's working on an orbital, working on more Marines. Doesn't quite have as much as her opponent, but has those medevacs.
This is going to be... No, it's not going to... Medevacs don't account for numbers
don't shoot
too
the rocks
much.
right now.
Yeah, I mean, the Hellions doing a great job there, actually evening up the count, and still don't think it's going to be enough. Saber's got a really good... Okay, now we're down to 3. No, he's focusing them down, There's a Viking there of all things, but Viking does not fight Marines well. See, just being picked off there. If those were called down to fix the this is...
Wow.
What? But... Oh...
What are you upset?
I am, but I don't know why.
Okay. Oh my goodness. So he's going mass bio, which is basically mass Marines here.
Yeah. Mass Marines doesn't serve so well against tanks. Tanks are pretty good, and Claire has one of those now. Once we get to about 2 or 3, we're going to be looking at 1 or 2 showing Marines. In fact, we're already looking at 2 showing Marines, I think, just based on the math. But this is a pretty big deal. A pretty big deal to have that many tanks, and Claire needs to keep producing those if she wants to actually win out against anything Sabre's throwing. At this point in time, Sabre doesn't really have any kind of high attack, as you said. He's just on Marines, so that's Claire's
edge. The game
edge.
basically reset itself here. This is about even. I'm looking at the worker counts. You know, Sabre's up by 4.
Of course,
Claire's got a slightly larger army, and I mean 4 racks to 3, but the 3 has also a factory and a Stargate or starport, and a factory is just now starting for the first time in the game for Sabre.
I still feel like the advantage lies with Claire, but it could come down to decision making. And say what you will about Sabre, but his decision making so far has been pretty impeccable.
Yeah,
Every single time he takes the right fight.
Thor, absolutely. That was definitely the right choice.
Yeah.
I'm
Well, it worked. It worked until it didn't. He didn't.
It worked until it didn't.
I feel like he could have won with that, and I'm a bit sad that it didn't work. But you know, I still feel obliged to support Claire for no reason I can really identify. Maybe it's just because Sabre's the man.
Marines said no. And both armies ran away from each other. They both said screw it.
Yeah. Claire's like, oh god, that army looks big and scary and I don't have enough tanks. And Sabre went, oh god, that army's got tanks, I don't have any of those.
They both ran like hell. Wow, that's funny.
Yeah. The macro is so even, as you said. Sabre's actually got +1 upgrades in the face of very slow upgrades coming out of Claire, and Claire's finally kind of getting to a mirrored position. They were just done reverses of each other's build. It's really bizarre, this game, but I think this push from Claire is actually quite significant. This could be the one that ends the game, and the reason for that is because Sabre's army's good, but it's got stim and no medevacs. Claire's army does have medevacs. It will have stim very shortly. Combat shields will probably be good,
but she's going to settle for stim.
Yeah.
And Sabre's army moved back. Said, oh, and now there's medevacs.
Now he knows. Okay, so these tanks have got to siege up. No! Too slow. The tanks didn't siege up in time. This could now go Sabre's way. Yeah. You've got to siege up the second your opponent sees, because this is what happens. Sabre just stimmed forward and killed everything Claire had.
Well, that just happened. That did just happen.
I made a really dramatic hand gesture during that, and no one saw it except you. So I hope you were paying attention and enjoyed that. I was just like, it was intense.
That would have been good. And Sabre's going to go for a drop.
Yeah, not too unexpected. It's a question of how much damage it does, really. The general spacing out of the SCVs in the main is really good for Claire, not putting too many up there with the consideration of the fact that there really isn't that much mineral left to mine. But Sabre's taking a gold third. That's going to keep him in the game. If that goes unpunished, that is basically a one-way ticket to winning a game as Terran.
Yep, absolutely.
It looks pretty potent.
I'm looking at all the upgrades and I'm checking things, and here comes the 2 medevacs.
Again, everything Sabre does when he makes these snap decisions...
Fortunately, she reacted so fast.
So fast.
And he double stimmed.
Oh, so much of the drop's going to go down, and... Oh, not
He
quite
lost
getting
more
the
than
stim
half of
forward.
it.
There's a counter attack though, going towards that third base, and actually the third base of Claire is going to get picked off.
No,
Yeah. Two-pronged attacks coming out of Sabre, really, really sharp. Killing off Claire's hopes of advancing into a macro game. Nice tanks though, driving away the bio.
Yep. And she's continuing to stagger him pretty nicely, I might add. But that army is dropping, but not before a missile turret finishes. This is a one-way ticket.
Looks like it might be. All of that army goes down for Sabre. The force out towards the third is deciding to go home. It doesn't think he can push into the tanks, and I think I agree.
Yeah, I don't think he could. He's got 2 medevacs, and still staying on 1-1. He's probably gonna wait for 2-2, and build up a little bit more forces. He's streaming them across the map, so he's getting ready. But he's really short on the.
It is worth noting that with that scan having gone down, Sabre's going to lose a lot of stuff for very little return, and a great counter scan. But this is all money that Claire's throwing away, or instant income, I should say. The mules are not being spent there; they're being spent on scans instead. And Sabre's got a gold base.
Yeah.
Gold PF.
Yeah, and
damn, Sabre, you crazy!
Oh, this drop is going to fly right over it.
Are there any turrets there? The turrets will be finished in just a moment. Got to be very careful with that. But is Claire paying attention? What's Claire's map awareness like? It's good. It's excellent, in fact. Not a good place to start dropping, however. Once again, the decision making kind of letting her down a bit. And you can't send 4 Marines up against a PF. That does not work.
No, but it did scare Sabre to back up. He doesn't want to lose it.
No, he knows that this is incredibly strong. He really, really wants this.
Now, she's taking advantage of that, saying, okay, I know you're going to protect it. I really want to kill it, but this is a great opportunity for me to get that third down. And so here she goes, dropping another third. While Sabre's entire army chases these 2 Marines that are sprinting all the way home.
Well, you know, they've got the legs for it. They're gonna go jog home, feeling pretty good about themselves. But Claire needs to be ready. Claire needs to be ready and getting up a good tank concave in front of the natural third.
Drop. It's gonna be a doom drop.
That's pretty major.
Oh my, oh my. Medevacs will make it in time to help out. Now, this should be a superior army here for Claire, even with the upgrade. Oh, and then the secondary push killing the siege tanks.
It's worth noting, yeah, that these 2 flanking attacks have actually killed off the majority of Claire's tanks. Sabre attacking 3 places at once has dealt crippling damage to the tanks of Claire, and that was the strength. That was what Claire had going for her.
She lost the tanks, but she didn't lose any econ. And on top of that, she is superior in army, and is catching up in upgrades.
Yeah.
So
this game is kind of making me want to play Terran in a weird way. I know I can't.
That's why I've been playing Terran as random. You know, when I've been playing as random, just to get a couple of these games in where you can, you know,
do this sort of thing, 3-pronged attacks and whatnot.
Yeah, exactly. It's fun doing all those crazy drops. It drives your opponent crazy. Now Claire seems to be pretty controlled dealing with it. She's done a pretty good job. You know, getting hit from multi directions and being able to hold in all of them. That's pretty good.
It is pretty good. It's kind of precarious where she sits at this point, though, because Sabre has a gold base, and when your opponent has a gold base, nothing is certain.
I really feel like that she should probably... She doesn't have the tower. If she was holding that tower, I would move the siege tanks to just south of the ridge line there on that gold base.
Yeah, Sabre's map is sick.
And then, yeah, if he didn't have that, and then scan and just blow the workers straight to hell. And at least delay it a bit, you know?
Well, that's what this push out is doing now.
Yeah, and she has a superior army. Now, he may go for a push here, but if he does, this army is going to successfully cause him... The army's bigger. He can't hold without coming back.
And Claire's... Yeah, I was going to say, because Claire's forces are all together. No, he's going in. He is going in right now. The drop is...
This turned into a base race, then.
I think it could. The forces of Claire are objectively superior, but Sabre's in the main, screwing it up. This is the moment. This is what it's all going to come down to. No! Positioning those tanks much too close for Claire. Not even sieging up, although that actually, I think...
Oh boy, there we go.
Yeah.
As soon as they got sieged up, that was the end of going after them.
But what's the saying? Don't base race a Terran. and both of these guys
Well,
are
how does that
Terrans.
work if they're both Terran?
I think they end up a bit confused in general.
Does the term go to he who has siege tanks wins the game then?
I think it goes to the one who has the best army at that point, because you can't base race either of them. And Claire's just flying straight off. Claire is going straight at it. There is a fourth base going down at the gold, but it's the third and the natural are the really prominent ones for Claire to be evacuating at this point. And really, she's just trying to get as much money out of them as possible before the game is up. But this is a huge army for her in her opponent's base. They both have a huge army. No, don't push into that. Okay, here it is. Here it is. No, the unsiege out of Claire. Why do you unsiege when your opponent scans? You should never do that. Now Sabre has this great engagement. That engagement has cost Claire the game. That is the mistake that ended the game.
Yep. So.